Okay, so hello everyone. So we are doing the second part of our types of chemical reactions. So we already looked at synthesis, decomposition, and combustion reactions. Today we're looking at single displacement and double displacement reactions. Okay, so single replacement reactions also goes by the name single displacement. So those mean exactly the same thing. So how do we know we have a single displacement reaction? That's when you have a chemical change that involves one element and one compound as the reactants. I'll give you a quick example. So let's say I had silver plus sodium chloride. So I have one element plus one compound. Okay, that's how you're going to know this is going to be a single displacement. Now, what happens here is the element that is by itself will replace the element that's in the compound. Now, how do we know which element will replace which? It's actually pretty straightforward. The element type that is by itself can only replace the same type of element. So a metal can only replace a metal. A non-metal can only replace a non-metal. Okay, so that's how you're going to know which one will be swapping out. So for this example, silver is a metal. Sodium is what will swap with it because sodium is also a metal. So what happens here is they literally swap places. So we have now sodium will be by itself, and the silver is now going to be with chlorine. Okay, single displacement or single replacement. So just to review this again, so you'll have one thing that's by itself plus a compound. And if this item that is alone is a metal can only replace another metal. If the element that is by itself is a non-metal, it can only replace the non-metal that's in the compound. So it can only replace something that it is similar to. Okay, so here are some examples with real elements and compounds. So here we have magnesium and silver nitrate. So magnesium is a metal, so it will swap places with the silver. So now silver is by itself and magnesium is now with nitrate. Now keep in mind, anytime you are writing a new compound, you still have to follow the crisscross rules. So that's why this 2 is here, is because the charge on magnesium is a 2. There is no 2 with the silver because silver is a charge of +1. So you're swapping out the element, but when you are writing the new element formula, like with the new compound formula, it's like you're writing it from scratch. So you have to look at the charges to know how to crisscross that properly. Okay, so bromine in this case is a non-metal. And remember, bromine, why does it have a 2? It's one of our Hofbrinkel elements. So remember to remind yourself, each of these elements, when they are by themselves, come as a pair. So bromine, when it is alone, is really always Br2. Same with any of these other elements, right? Like H2, O2, etc. So bromine is going to swap places with iodine because calcium is a metal. It cannot swap with the metal. Non-metal can only swap with non-metal. So now I have calcium bromide. So remember, this is +2, -1. That's why that 2 is there. Plus iodine is by itself, which is also a Hofbrinkel element. Okay, so the reason why there are 2's there, so the compound 2 is there because of the crisscross rule. These 2's are here because they happen to be Hofbrinkel elements. So just a cute little kind of cartoon here. So here we have one person that is alone, and then we have a couple, so a couple that's dancing. And what happens is the two people are swapping places. So now you have a new couple, and that one that was swapped is alone. Okay, so here we have an example, another example just to show you. So here we have lithium plus water, in case that's too small to see there. And what happens here is, now this is very important. Water, when it displaces, the water, another way of writing water is actually HOH. And I think this will help you when you're doing this. Let me write this nice and big. So instead of writing out water, what I suggest you do, especially in grade 10, because you're not used to this yet, even in grade 11, I would recommend this. The metal that it swaps with is actually going to be hydrogen, not H2. Okay, it doesn't swap out with H2 because when water splits, it splits up into H and OH. It's kind of unique in that way. So when this swaps, we get lithium hydroxide. It's +1 -1, so it's balanced, plus H2, because this is another one of our Hofbrinkel elements. So when you have water that is part of these displacement reactions, it displaces into H and OH, not H and O. That's a very common mistake. Please remember, water, try writing water as HOH to remind you of that. So here we go. I'm going to put the link to this YouTube video up on our D2L site. So that way we can focus on the lesson in this video, and then you can watch the examples later on. Okay, so let's look at some things that will help us. So I've already mentioned this, but when you're dealing with displacement, so it doesn't matter if it's single or double, water, I would suggest you write it as HOH instead of H2O. So for example, if I have potassium plus water, right, look at what's going to happen here. The potassium is going to go with hydroxide, and hydrogen will now be by itself. So this would now be potassium hydroxide plus hydrogen. That would be my word equation. Okay, and of course you would have to balance this. So remember, when you're balancing, right, you have to make sure the numbers are the same. So put 1K, 1K. Here I have 1 OH, 1 OH. Here I have 2. I need a 2 for my hydrogens. And now because of that, I have to put a 2 here because there's 2 OHs. And because there's 2 Ks, we need a 2K here. So remember, anytime you're writing a reaction now, we're now going to practice balancing because you've learned how to balance equations. So that's one thing to remind you of, to write water as HOH, especially in grade 10, but even in grade 11 at the beginning, I would suggest you do that. So the next thing is, the next recommendation is, when you are dealing with polyatomic ions, you do not split them up. When you're doing displacement reactions, they simply will move together as one. So I'll give you an example. So here is ammonium chloride plus bromine, right? A Hofbrinkel, so it's Br2. So the non-metal can only replace the non-metal. So this NH4 is going to stay put. This is now going to be NH4Br plus Cl2, again because of the Hofbrinkel. So notice NH4, we kept it together. The polyatomic ion stays together in displacement reactions. And then, of course, we would need to balance. So we have 2Cl, we need a 2 here, and we have 2Br, we need a 2 here, and that's actually already balanced. So this would be, our products are ammonium bromide plus chlorine. Okay, so these are all things you've already learned. Really, the only thing that's new here is the actual swapping out of the elements. You already know how to balance, and you already know how to do the crisscross rules and writing out the chemical equations. Okay, so what you can do here is pause the video, give these 3 a try. So what I want you to do is write out what the products are for each of them. Okay. And I want you to balance the reaction as well. So pause the video and give this a try, and then you'll continue watching the video and see how you did. Okay, so let's take a look at what you did here. So here we have the zinc, which is a metal. Okay, so even though hydrogen is not a metal, remember that when it's an ion, it's +1. So just another way of thinking of it is something that will become positive will also swap something that is already positive. So basically the zinc cannot replace the chlorine because the chlorine has a negative charge. Okay, so we have here now zinc chloride. So remember that with the crisscross rule, check your periodic table. The 2 is going to crisscross down. This is from the first part of chemistry. And hydrogen is now by itself. And we know that hydrogen is a Hofbrinkel element, which means that it's going to have a 2. So to balance this, we actually just need to put a 2 in front of HCl because there are 2 H's and there are 2 chlorines. So this will make us have a balanced reaction. Okay, let's look at the next one. So fluorine is a non-metal, so that's going to swap with our chlorine. So now we're going to have NaF, so +1 -1, so you leave it blank. And chlorine is also a Hofbrinkel, so this is going to be Cl2. So for balancing, we need a 2 here for the 2 fluorines. But that also changes sodium, so we'll need a 2 in front of NaCl. And that balances with our 2 chlorine on the product side. So we're good here. Okay, our last example, aluminum is a metal, so that's going to swap with copper. So that means copper is going to be by itself, and we're going to have aluminum nitrate. So remember the charge on aluminum is +3, which is why we're going to have a 3 crisscross down here on the outside of the bracket. So to balance, we're going to have here, so it's actually easier to keep the NO3s together. So here we have 2 NO3s and here we have 3. So remember, when you're balancing, you want to do the lowest common multiple. So 2 and 3 will go into 6. So I can put a 3 in front of this to make this 6 NO3s. And I'm going to put a 2 in front of this to make this part 6 NO3s. So the last thing we need to do is balance out our Cu's, so 3 and 3, and our aluminums. Okay, so hopefully you did well on this. If not, after you practice writing these out some more with tonight's homework, we can take this up again tomorrow. Okay, so that's single displacement. So part 2 of this video is going to be our last reaction type, which is double displacements.